So my name is Diane, owner of Shootastic in the upcoming mini studio. I am a wife and a mother of 6.
Nice. And then you say you turning your shop into a mini studio. Talk about that. Like, go through a little bit of the process of what you mean when it's going to be a mini studio.
So it's gonna be a space where if you are a photographer, you want to do a podcast, you sell clothes, shoes, whatever it is, you could come in and have 6 different backgrounds where you can shoot content.
Nice. And so it used to be a shoe store. Like, what was it
It
before?
has been a shoe store since 2018. I opened in 2018, stepping out on faith. It has been a shoe store. It's still currently a shoe store, but we're wrapping that up by January and turning it into the content creation studio.
Nice. So you excited about that?
I am. I'm excited. A new journey. Shootastic has always been my baby, and so had to make some changes, and so I'm ready. I'm ready for the fresh start.
You shifting. Talk about the shift in the process of shifting. How long has it taken you? Why are you switching over to a different business? But before you tell me why are you switching, talk about how Shootastic got kind of a little bit of how it got started and how it was going, and then how long you've been thinking of, transitioning or doing it, making it something else.
Well, Shootastic, the idea started in 2017. I remember I was working as a certified nursing assistant, a CNA, and I was like, man, I gotta find another way to make some money for me and my babies because this is a dead end right here. And I don't know why, but God just put on my heart, do shoes. You don't know anyone doing shoes, do shoes. And then I went trying to see how you open up a business. And I asked family and friends that I knew, like, how do you open up a business? I went to Google, learned how to do a lot of the things myself. And I started getting the shoes. At first, it was more so as a side hustle, honestly. And then I met a young lady who had a boutique and she had clothes in there. And she said, let's get together. You got shoes, I got clothes. And so I went to her shop for a while, put my shoes in there. And long story short, she decided that she wanted to close the store because she was moving back. She finished getting her nursing degree. She wanted to move back to New Orleans. So she said, you can get it if you want. And I had to think about it. I was like, do I want to do this? Like, this is a lot of overhead. Like, do I want to do this? And I prayed about it. And I was like, yeah, I had already started getting, quite a bit of customers that I was like, yeah, these ladies like to come in, they like to try on their shoes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the space. And so from there, I remodeled it, everything, and that's how Shootastic started. I love the whole experience throughout the whole time. I love my ladies. I love how they come in. We'll laugh together, dance together, cry together. We just had us a time throughout the years. And so just after I had my baby, things just slowed down and the passion kind of died out a little bit. So I kept on saying, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to revamp it, but I just never got to that space where I wanted to do that. So God put it on my heart to do the mini studio content creation um, studio. So that's what I'm working on right now.
When we come inside of the mini studio, what is it going to look like? What am I going to be able to do inside of the mini studio? What to expect?
Okay, so with the seasons, things would change, but when you first walk in, you have a white wall where we can change, with the different seasons, the designs, or you can just use it as a plain white background. We're gonna have another place for photographers where they can switch the vinyl colors, but bring your photographer. They don't have a place to shoot. They could come in there to shoot. Um, we're still deciding on a couple of the backgrounds, but we do have one that has an all black background. We'll have the camel chairs so our guys could come in as well if they would like to do podcasts or whatnot. We also have a little seating area where you can have a little mini meeting, no more than 2 to 5 people, intimate meetings. We have a beautiful grass wall that we're working on. And then we're making up some other backgrounds, but we'll keep them fresh. We'll rotate them, so you could come in and make some good content.
So you transitioned. This was something that you loved. It was your shoe shop.
Mm.
Talk about the transition because you said you just emptied out stuff. You talk about like the process that you went through of shifting the shift and what it meant to you. How long was it? Because, with my business, it took a long time for me to shift. Like the pages, I kept the pages because those pages actually had data that showed that I did well. And so I could always send somebody over to that page, like,
Mhm.
put some respect on my name, right? And it was getting older and older and 3 years old, and the post, all it's like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And it was like, it took a lot for me to let that go because I thought that people would think that I'm just starting with where I am, and I wanted them to know I'm not.
Mhm.
But it's neither here nor there because it's not about people, and it was keeping me on hold
Mhm.
and I didn't know, do I want to do a clothing line again? And so I had to really count the cost and let it go and move forward because I really wasn't going to. So I had to sell fabric and stuff like that. So talk about your process from shoe-tastic. Sound like you really loved it. You had fun with women. Like you said, you laughed, you cried, people tried on shoes, all of that inside of there. So, and then from that of letting it go and what it felt like you was letting go, did it feel like you was letting go your dream? Like,
Yeah.
so talk about the process of it.
I just put so much in the shoetastic. Like I put so much throughout the years. Even though I did officially sell to every state in the United States, so I was proud of that. But I wanted it to be like known, like someone in California is talking to like this buzzing. I want it to be the next Fashion Nova or whatever, but of shoes, shoetastic. The brand is trademarked. I just want it to be big, and so even though I was doing really well, I always wanted to do better. And so I always would tell myself that. So after I had my son, I just kinda lost the passion. I wouldn't say lost the passion, but I just kinda slacked up with the content, different things, and I'll say, "Imma do this, Imma do that," and then I just wasn't doing it, and then, because I know what it could be if you put your all into it, and so I know what it was, you know what I mean? Because it slowed down because the content slowed down,
Right.
and so at that point, I'm just coming to the conclusion that Imma go ahead and let it go. Shout out to Clarice.
Oh my gosh.
Because I knew that I did wanna transition it to a content creation studio, but I was stuck. Like, I was stuck because I still have inventory, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to I needed someone else that can tap into my creativeness and then use their creativeness, and that's what you did for me. So, I called Clarice.
And
She was gonna do it out.
photo shoot,
Yep.
right?
We were really just gonna do a photo shoot, and I was gonna do a little minor things and just do the photo shoot so I can go ahead and get it started.
Get it on the peer space.
Yeah,
The
get it on
picture.
Peerspace, yep. And then, but then she came in and she like, "We could do this, we could do that." Got this all out back there, and I put so much money in my warehouse part of it back there. I'm like, "Clarice."
You was like, this wall cost me a lot of money. But when you sent me that video of what it looked like, it was good. And I knew immediately when I seen those shoes on the wall and what you were telling me you wanted to change it into, I knew immediately those shoes had to go. But I knew coming in, I was gonna wrestle with you a little bit because that is your shop. It was a shoe store. So how can you come in and tell me to get rid of the shoes over there? And that was gonna be because you were like, well, see, yeah, because I can use this grass wall over here and the black wall. I could do content there, and those shoes are staying right there. So and you just kept going. Talk about that in that black wall that I was like, we got to tear this wall down.
I'm like, "Clarice," and then the whole thing back there is gutted all out. But now I thought about what I wanna do with that space because that was wasted space. I can all the shoes aren't gonna be back there no more, so we could gut that out, use the space. I kept thinking of what you said, um, what purpose does this serve? Like, what purpose did I'm like, yeah. So, this past week, I went there, started pulling stuff out, start getting rid of stuff, and I cried and I prayed, and I'm like, "Lord, Lord, please, just show me what you want me to do, how you want me to do it, because I feel defeated right now,
Yeah.
you know?"
Why were you crying? What was some of the tears as you in there? What was it saying?
It's some of everything,
Mhm.
like, um, wanting a new beginning of, you know, feeling like I didn't do everything that I wanted to do with Shoetastic. Just feeling like just all the pressures of the world, just like, Lord, I don't wanna, I wanna make it. I wanna really make it, like not fake make it, for real make it.
Yes.
You know? And so, I just had to have me that moment. I prayed, read me a couple scriptures, and I got up and got that stuff up out of there. I'm still in the process.
I told you as you get started, I said, you're gonna know what I'm saying. The more you start getting rid of the stuff, you are going to know what it is that you need to do. What's your next step? We always talk about what's the next step. And so I was like, we were thinking of buying stuff. And I'm like, no, we gonna look, we got the inspiration pictures of what we want to do, but
Yeah.
do not go to the store.
You don't blow his nose. Thursday, get the stuff out of here first.
Yeah. We thought piling stuff on top of stuff. I didn't go through all of what I went through over and over the years to not be able to help guide somebody through what I went through. That's what I had to hear for myself. Like, you holding on to this stuff is just sitting here, that's sitting there. Like, get rid of it first. Stop just buying stuff and clean it out. And the more you clean it out, did you feel better? You could like,
Oh yeah, I feel much better. I
yeah.
do feel better. Like I can't wait till it's done. Like I really can't wait till it's done. So by the end of this week, all that stuff will be out of there, and then I can start buying stuff.
Yeah. She ready for that, so good. You holding yourself to that.
Yeah.
Nice. And that rack that you paid a pretty penny for that. That with the shoes where you stored your shoes. And I was like, they all can go on this one shelf over here. Can you see it now?
Yeah, and they did all go.
On that shelf? You was telling me, I don't think they
I was like, I don't know. I still got quite a few things. You're like, I'm telling you, you could squeeze all that on it, and it ain't even take no squeezing. So yeah, it did go over there, and I could see, I'm looking forward to it because I could see what it's gonna be like. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because everyone needs somewhere to create content at if they're a business owner. Like sometimes their house may not be, what they want it to be to do it. So I'm excited. It can help other entrepreneurs around. So
Yeah, and you're gonna do really good. You're gonna do really good. Every time I see like some type of content or studio or something, now I'm thinking about you and I'm just so excited and I want to send ideas like, oh, this is the next level.
your ideas is this inbox full of good ideas.
I almost was like I had to have a shield up, like, cause I said if I tell her she got to get rid of these shoes on this wall, and that wall need to come down, or that stuff in the back, like that whole storage, and it's built beautiful. Whoever built that in the back, that storage for your shoes, that is built very nice. They did a good job, but I already knew that I was gonna run. I was like, whatever's behind that wall, because all I had was the video. Whatever back, I said, I'm gonna have to tell her. So
You went pulling on it like I could pull this down.
I said, this can come. I'm licking up top at the screws, and you licking like, yeah. So because I do need that wall. And I'm really happy that I already knew that once you got started, I was like, things gonna shift for her. It's gonna shift. And when you said tears was coming, that was a good thing because I knew that is a part of you letting go but moving forward. And I know that it feels like your dreams, like some of your dreams and aspirations about that business, it feel like it's dying. Like you're a black business of, shoe store and people look up to you. And sometimes we feel like people are looking up to us and they gonna be like, our shoe store. Yes.
But I carried that for a long time.
Really?
I did because, that's Miss Tastic, and I still am. It's coming back, but in a different way later. But in this season, this is what I'm focused on, along with a few other things.
Nice. And okay. Well, I'm happy about everything that's gonna happen within that location. And I know you're already professional, so you're already ready for it.
Thank
You've
you.
already been prepared for it.
Mhm.
So I'm happy for that.
Thank you.
And so let's talk about your childhood. Like, how was your growing up and how were you raised?
Clarice, what you trying to do to me? What you trying to do to me?
We could know a little bit more about you and how we come up to the place of, where you at now.
All right. Well, I was born in Queens, New York. My mother, Peggy Gaines, rest in peace. I was her foster child until I was 5 years old. She moved down here to Florida and she adopted me. And she passed away 2 years ago. Clarice, don't do this. Don't check. I can't. I'm stop it. I'm gonna cry.
It's fine. I have tissue. I do. I do. It is a-okay. Because when you think of it, all of this part of the process, all of this is part of the process of.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Oh Lord. I ain't trying to be no crybaby now. Okay. All right. Let me know where you want me to start.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I was born in Queens, New York. My mother, Peggy Gaines, I was her foster child until I was 5. She moved down here to Florida at that time. She took care of me the best way she could. She raised me off of fixed income, and she did everything she could. She did everything she could to make me feel loved. And that's the mother she was to me, built me to be the mother that I am to my kids, because anytime I can even think about, how to be a good mother, I go back to think about how she made me feel. So, um, that's where I come from, but I always strive to, do more. I don't want to be in poverty all my life. I want to, you know, thrive and be successful. And she passed away 2 years ago. I might have to do that over, Clarice.
No, you're good. That's good.
Okay.
How you said she passed away 2 years ago. How did you take that?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I was shoot because she was 98 when she passed away. So my whole life she was older. So I used to always pray. I used to pull out my Bible. I remember being a little girl. I used to pull out my Bible and I used to pray and I say, Lord, please let her live to see me get grown and see me have kids. Like I really wanted her to live to see me get grown and have kids. And God did that for me. She's seen all my kids, even the last one. And but all my life I pretty much prepared myself for that because I knew she was older. But of course, you're never really ready when you prepare yourself for that. Whew. And so yeah, so when she passed away, I'm in a place where I accepted that I knew that that was gonna happen. But you know,
It's still
it's still
difficult. Yeah. It's like you.
that was my mommy.
Yeah.
And I never experienced a love like that ever in my life.
Yeah. And we wish that we can have people here forever.
Mm.
Like to see you do this or to see you do that. And when you do it, when certain things that I do, I wish that my dad was here or my mom was here to see it, and so we'll always keep growing and always want that person that we love to have been here to see
Yeah.
this. I think about my grandkids and I think, oh, I would have wanted them to know my mom and she would have really, had a good time with this one and she would have felt, so
Mhm.
we do. And You have to put on your big girl panties, and that'd be the hardest part because now it's like it forces us to grow up. And we're like now the person that people come to and they looking at us to make decisions. How you feel
They
about
do.
that?
They do. It seems like I don't know if it was because I was raised from by an older woman. Just give me like that nurturing spirit, I guess. I don't know, but my peers and my family, little cousins, even some of my older cousins, they gonna call Didi. They gonna call Didi. But another thing is it was a blessing meeting you because I need someone that can do that for me. You know what I mean? And so that was really good.
And it was good meeting you because you were open to listen. And I knew based on the decision you made when you booked the photo shoot, and then I could see what you needed. And so then because you sent a video just to tell it how we're gonna do the photo shoot to put it on your space. And so I said, I'm gonna send her this to see, but I don't know how she would shoot it. Do you want to do a consultation to help, you, or do you want to do a photo shoot? And when you said consultation, I already knew what God was doing in your life. I already knew it was time, to go to that next level and that you was open to do a consultation. I said, it's on.
It's on. And not only did you come do the consultation, we talked, then we talked. We hung out that day.
Yes. I thought I was gonna have to leave the car running though with that. Once I told you about that water, walk down or take them shoes down, I was like, oh no. How she gonna receive it? But I'm so happy for you. I'm truly happy for you that
Thank you.
yeah, when you sent me that message, I was like, yes. Yes.
Yeah. I needed some ideas for sure. So when you said that it was right on time, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is what I needed.
But you have the ideas. You just needed the guidance. It's just
Yeah.
the lines in the road. Those lines don't keep you from going into the other lane.
Right.
They just there to guide
You had to keep telling me that. I kept on like wearing and you kept on pushing me back. Pushing me back. Yeah.
So that you know is what it'll look like, because sometimes we think bigger, you got big vision inside of you. So we think bigger than what we have, or we think smaller and not knowing what we have is actually bigger. So yeah,
Because it's definitely bigger than what I first intended.
yeah.
Which made it even more exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you have to calm yourself down because they're making it this big, huge place that it's like, okay, now you can't do a whole lot of that convention in this place, right? You do, but hey, that'd be the next level. So you was talking about your mom, and you said your foster mom. So
So she's my mom. I have a biological mom.
okay.
We do have a relationship. We do talk on the phone. I've seen her in person now.
Okay.
But my mom who passed away, that's my
mom.
mom.
Okay.
You know.
Nice. So your mom, was she in New York or was she here in Florida?
She was in New York. I was born in New York. She lived in New York. We moved down here when I was actually no, we moved down here when I was 3. She adopted me when I was 5.
When you was 5. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you seen your real mom when? Did you get to see?
Well, actually, she had a friend that worked at the Social Security building, and they found my biological mom for me, and I was about 12. I was in 8th grade, and I had my first conversation with her, and I found out that not only did I have an older brother, but I had 2 sisters. They're twins, and so me and my sisters are really close.
Really?
Oh
Yeah, I'm sure they love.
one of them in particular, we're really close. Yes, you close to my little best friends. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know they was happy that they had. Yeah, with your personality, very loving, very caring. You're very nurturing because you got that. And so sometimes it doesn't happen the way that life says that it should happen, but God makes sure that we get it. He always put things and people in place because of the destiny, the calling on your life, so that you get what you need to get, because other people will get what they need to get from you. And so, like you said, everybody know Dee Dee, they come to you based on what God has put inside of you. So yeah. And you wouldn't even know that so with your mom, you say y'all talk and stuff, and we talk working through.
Well, it's really it's really nothing to work through because, I don't hold her accountable because she has some things going on.
Yeah.
Like for one, she's totally blind.
Oh, really?
One, there may be some kind of disability in there. So I'm actually grateful. God had his hands on me ever since I was a baby. He let me come with this older, loving lady who makes me fry bologna sandwiches and cut them down the middle for me and my cereal and go rub my feet and rub my back and just spoil me.
Yeah, so hold on. Now, fried bologna sandwich. Can you cook a good fried bologna sandwich if you had?
I mean, if I had to, I would.
Okay.
I taught my kids too. They know.
Because those fried bologna sandwiches used to be the one now.
They good with my mayonnaise and she cut it down the middle and I mean I was twinkling my toes together, you know what I mean? But I guess better words would be not the excitement in her life, but
You was her baby.
yeah.
Did she had kids as other
She
kids?
did, but all of her kids were grown.
Right, because she's
So all my
older.
sisters were way older than me, and so like my sister passed away 3 years ago when she was in her 50s. So, everyone around me was older. The only one who was the closest one to my age was my sister's daughter, which is my niece. Her name was Ashivian, and she was 11 years older than me. So I was the baby around her. Yeah.
You was her blessing baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the roles switched. As I got older, I was her caregiver. And so, up until her last days, because eventually, she had to transition to a home.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to, but with the family dynamics and what was going on,
Yeah.
she pretty much had to. And that's something that still stood on my heart to this day. But,
Why is that?
because I would have wanted to be able to afford her 24-hour care to be comfortable at home, not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her insurance would only pay for so much, and it wasn't enough family to say, hey, I'll help, so it was really no choice.
Yeah.
But, I would go up there, I would see her, we would hang out, I'll still go get her, and, we'll still create memories.
Right.
But up to those last 2 years, when I had my baby, COVID was in and out of the building. It was a lot going on, and the relationship that I've always had with her our whole life, it slowed down tremendously. I couldn't go in there. I'm nursing, I'm nursing my son, but they keep getting COVID and different stuff like that. So I didn't want to keep going in the building and stuff like that. So it was a lot to do with that, but it just, our last time speaking though, I went in there and I fed her some of her breakfast and I pulled up the blanket over her and I said, I love you. And she was like, I love you too. And I kissed on her forehead and those was our last words.
Wow. When you was talking and you was saying you wanted to be able to take care of her, it's like some people, they have given you so much that you almost feel like you could never repay them and you just want to be able to give back to them. Yeah, and I have people in my life that's like that they might not know what they mean to me, but they've done so much that I'm not sure in this lifetime I would be able to repay them back. That's how grateful I am for just them showing up for me. And so I could tell that mean a lot to you. People showing up for you.
It does. It does. It does. And I think that my whole life I always said, I always did what was on my heart, or I always tried to do right by her because I never knew when her last day was going to be. And I wanted to always feel good about everything.
Yeah.
And even though we created all that all these years, I feel like I'm never going to be as happy because of those last 2 years.
With her?
The last 2 years, how we didn't spend as much, like I didn't go up there for her as much as I would, normally would, or, I did, but it would be once a month or something like that. I felt like she needed me to come up there more often. Like I would call. She even had some of her aides or the activities guy who used to be there. He'll FaceTime me for her, and I'll see her and still talk to her. So we would still do that, but um, I mean, I did because I used to get her care ride and have her. She'll come up there to my shop with me.
Right. That your dynamics had changed, right? You were married, you had a kid, another baby. So, I mean, that was why, right? Or
It is, but I mean, because she was uncomfortable coming out as well. She'd start to get more fragile.
Wow.
So I would get her out, but she would start to complain a little bit. So it's like, I want you to sit still. And so I couldn't get up there. And it's not necessarily at all really from being a wife. It was more so, like I said, COVID was in and out of the buildings. I was trying to work, because I Shootastic at the time. I had just had baby J and I slacked up with content. So I was trying to be there. I was trying to make sure I was, trying to keep on making the content, things like that. So, and then by the end of the day, I'm like pooped because so, I just didn't spend the time like I normally would have all of our lives. And so, I just feel like I should have been there more, and I have family that was like, you've been doing this all this time. Well, I know that, but I still don't feel good about these last 2 years, but she knew I loved her.
yeah,
And I went to grief counseling, and they said, he was like, well, what do you think that she would say if you were her, if you can speak for her, what do you think that she'll say? And I can imagine her saying, don't bring all those kids down here. I'm okay. You all right, looking all them babies and all that. She will always say that because she used to having the three, back to back that I had. But I know that she know I loved her.
yes.
She knew that. And I try not to sit in that negative spot. I try to think about all the good and just,
Yeah.
just keep going with that because she knew the bond we had. We both knew we had each other back.
Yeah.
If nobody else had our back, we had each other back.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And you can't, when God does something, right? It's not about repayment. When Jesus died, we can never repay, right? But we want to live our life as if we giving it all back to him as much as we can within us. But we're gonna fall short because we're human. And so with all that she did, you could never repay her. You was a little bitty kid. You couldn't even do nothing. You was a little 3-year-old. You know what I'm saying? She did more for you than you can.
well, she had me since I was 10 days.
So that's what.
Yeah.
So she did more than you can even remember, and you're trying to pay her back. In a sense, is what you remember. You can't pay her back. She fixed a bunch of models and put them in the microwave and patted you to sleep at night and changed a bunch of diapers that you don't even know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You got debt. If we're gonna talk about debt and you trying to repay back, you got debt you don't even know. You gotta pay up. And you still
I'm still in the rears.
that's what I'm trying to say. So go on and let yourself off the hook.
Yeah.
You understand?
I had to do that the grieving process though.
That was God orchestrating things and making sure that you had somebody in your life for you. And then she has her story of how God worked and orchestrated things. She has a whole nother story. But God had to put and set things into place and into motion for you, for your destiny. It was like Jesus when when Jesus was in the manger, and then when the wise men came to see, it was a bunch of things orchestrated. They came, and then they had to hide Jesus because then, they were trying to kill him when he was a baby, and they killed all the firstborn and all the boys, so what you understand, like God made sure that Jesus was protected because of what Jesus had to do here in the earth. His destiny, his purpose. His life was to come and die, So God covers and makes sure that you had, but that was a God thing,
Yes, for sure.
right? Yeah.
God definitely had me. When I look at my whole life, he definitely had me, and I know he hasn't brought me this far to just let me go. So
So if you gonna get in line to pay anybody back, then you need to pay God that. God,
I'm paying, and I'm trying to pay.
what? You're trying. I'm not trying to pay God that. That's the problem. You can't pay God back. God, like them little coins, he God has done things for us that we don't even know.
That's right.
It's accidents and things that could have happened that we we would never know.
That's right.
We could never repay.
Mm.
Right? And so you can't pay, let yourself off the hook because you're such a beautiful, like a beautiful spirit, and you have a great destiny ahead of you, and is no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, right?
That's right.
There's no condemnation. So you did what you could and what you couldn't. He already has said we fall short. And so wherever you fell short or that you feel like you fell short, let yourself off the hook, and praise God for what he did
Everything
through her. And
yes.
so let's move into parenting your kids. Who are you? Like, you don't have to tell their names, but girls, boys, and their personalities, like interacting with you and your husband. Like, who are they?
All right. So I have 4 that I birthed, and I have 2 bonus kids that I love as well. And so my oldest, Layla, she's a young adult now. She's in school, very good girl. She found her group of people up there in Tallahassee, and she has been what do you want? Because she's been hanging out with them, but they also believe in Christ. They're in church and they're doing a lot of good things. And so I'm very proud of the woman that she's becoming, and she did that on her own. And so I'm so proud of her because she's always been in honor classes. She's just always been like an amazing person. Even when I got with her dad, she was just always my sweetie. She was always my sweetie. Then you have the next oldest, which is Jordan, which is my bonus son.
Right.
And he is very smart but different. I call him peculiar. I say
He peculiar. Well, you got to come up with a word that we don't even use. Well, you got to come up with a Bible word. So, boy, hell, you peculiar. That's
he's different, but different in a good way. Like
Yeah.
at first I didn't know, but at like now, and he used to kind of give me a little trouble. I used to be like, okay, now he used to give me he was the one who gave a little pushback, But as he's older now, he explained why, and we love each other, so it's fine.
okay.
And then you got my firstborn, Angel. That's Miss Personality. But now that she's a little older, she tried to act like she's shy. But that's the one who I feel like would go viral on social media because she just got so much personality, And so that's Angel. And then we have Nevaeh. And that's my middle baby. That's my cuddle bug. That's my boo. That's the one who will understand me. She gonna put everybody in check about me, What do you mean? Mommy does this and this and that, and it's okay, mommy. How's your day, mommy? She gonna tell her siblings like, don't do that, So that's my cuddle bug. She used to suck on her little fingers when she was little.
Did she?
And she used to like rub her little edges and start sucking her fingers, and I just come up next to her and we'll just cuddle while she go to sleep. So that's my cuddle bug.
Did you suck your fingers when you were?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
I don't know where she get it from, but she had those little tears. She just grew out of it.
Yeah.
And then we have Albert. That's my son. That's my athletic, funny. He is funny. Sometimes try to be too funny. He don't know how to stop trying to. I play too much. He just plays too much. He is naturally funny, but he one of them people that once you get him going, he don't stop. And you got to say, okay, all right.
See, roasting y'all.
He gonna roast. Albert gonna have you laughing. He likes to get around my girls, their friends, and all of them just, "Oh, he's so funny." He just eat it all up. He just love it. He love every bit of it. And then we have baby J, John Jr. And that one there got I didn't want any more kids. I wasn't expecting to have any more kids. And so that one is a lesson, like not a lesson, but more so just God showing me his grace and just showing me that he shows me more of he gives me what I needed when I don't think that I need it.
Yeah.
Because that boy just got me wrapped around his finger.
Yeah.
I just love him so much. Like my heart just beats baby J.
And do the other kids feel like he more spoiled, like he get away with
They spoil him too.
Oh, they spoil him?
So it's like he just got love because everybody in the house just loves baby J. And I like it like that because they're a little older. Maybe if they were younger, it probably would have been something there. But even Albert, that's my baby. And he picks them up and, that's everybody's baby. So baby J just have his way around the house,
Yeah. Have you ever given your testimony about how? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. All right, it's open. So, how did you meet your husband? How long y'all been married? How did that?
We've been married 7 years.
Okay.
Actually, I was at my kid's school taking like a poster or something out the trunk, and he came over and passed out one of his cards. And I had just started Shoetastic. Like this was before I had a location, but I had my business cards. So I asked him, I gave him some of my cards so he can put them over there. And I got some of his cards and I told him I'll put them in the daycare. And
Did you like him at the time? Like, did you feel a little something as y'all giving the card, but you
not really.
nothing?
Because he looked kind of cute walking over there, little buffalo body, like a little Hershey walking over there. But I really wasn't. I was in a space where I had divorced, and I was just enjoying it being me and my kids.
Okay, so you was married before?
Yes,
For how long?
7 years.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, so I was good with being by myself at that time, but so from that time, maybe a week later, I don't know, I was washing clothes at the laundromat right in that area, like the daycare, his barbershop, and the laundromat is like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was washing my clothes one day and he came in there and was passing out cards to everybody. And then he was like, "Can I call that number that was on that card?" And then I just kept doing my laundry like I ain't hearing. And then
Why you did that? What was it? We do that. Why would we do weird stuff? We don't know how that. I don't know.
I couldn't even tell you why. I just act like I didn't.
But you kept going, kept watching.
I just kept watching, and then he made sure I heard him. And he asked me again. And at that time, I wasn't talking to anyone, so I was like, why not? Yeah, you could call me. And then he helped me finish my laundry that day. We were in there. He helped me finish my laundry and everything, and from there we would talk. But you know how some guys are like with the mind games, like, you want to chase me or not, but if I give you any attention, now you're acting the way like I didn't have to play the mind games. You know how some people they wait a few days to call you?
Yeah.
He didn't. He called right away.
Wow.
He called right away. We started talking and it just like kicked off, and ever since then, and he just showed me, how much he loved me. And eventually, after some months went by, he did meet my children and stuff like that. And from there, he said, "I want to be a family, your kids and my kids." And at first I'm like, I don't know about I don't know about that just yet,
How long was that after you met him that he knew and he said that?
So I met him like October of 2016. And, some months later, let's see, that was in January. That was in January. I remember it was New Year's. And he said, I just want to be a family, your kids and my kids and everything. And by that time, they knew that mommy had a friend, but they didn't really see him too much.
Right.
And yeah, so at first I was like, I'm not ready just yet, and I didn't want to put a title on it right then.
Why not? What do you want to keep your options open?
Well, I hadn't been that long since I had been divorced. You want me to keep going, please? Yes. Okay. So it wasn't that long till I had a divorce. So I wasn't really trying to necessarily hop in something so committed. It was nice having a friend that showed me he cared for me and I showed him I cared for him too. But I didn't want to say, like, I have a new man already, and
I think that's why some guys pursue is because you weren't thirsty. You know what I mean? You it's like use okay.
yeah, I was definitely okay. I was at a good place. I was happy about leaving that old thing go. I was okay. Yes.
Was it refreshing? It was refreshing.
It was very refreshing because it wasn't he was a guy who knows how to plan dates. He knew how to he didn't even want me carrying grocery bags, He made me feel like a princess, made me feel very loved and nurturing. And really, even though I'll never experience the love that my mom gave me, it's something about him that gave me that same kind of nurturing feeling that she gave me.
Yeah.
And so, maybe a month later after I told him, just wait, he was like, look, I mean, you could call it whatever you want to, but we together. You gonna be with me, okay? We together. Y'all, you could call it what you want to, but we together.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess we together now. And that was like February. That was like a month later. Okay, we together now.
But not a month after y'all met.
No. I met him in October.
Okay,
This is February.
November, December.
Yeah. So
Okay.
okay, we go together. Tell them we go together. So okay, that's that. And then in that May, I went to go visit my biological family in California. I seen my mom, my brother, and my sisters. I took my kids, and my best friend went with me.
Right.
So it was just a really good time of my life. And the week that I stayed there for like a week, and when I came back, he was like, "I can't be without you," and he was like, "Let's just get married." And I had already been praying about it, and I waited. I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, you sure this what you want me to do? You want me to do this? And I feel like, you know, my leader at the time and just different things like just gave me that confirmation, like, go ahead and do it. And at that time, I know that I'm already sexually involved with him. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to start sinning now. I don't want to live like that. So I did I didn't want to shack up because at this happened, you over there both now and we shacking up. Yeah. So
He put
we
a
got
ring
married.
on it.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a big wedding?
We didn't.
Y'all didn't have a big wedding. What did it look like? How big?
It was very simple. It was just us. Just you. We got married at the church. Yep. We got married at our church. It was just because we did plan on having like a reception or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a party type of person. Even my kids for their birthday.
Okay, so the wedding, what did y'all do? How did that go?
So we really didn't have a wedding. We just did it at our church. We planned on having a reception or something later for family and friends, but we decided we'll do it on our anniversary. And when our anniversary came, we was like, we don't want to do that. We want to go to Vegas. We want to have fun. We want to have fun with that money, not spend all that money trying to appease everyone else or whatnot. So we went us a week in Vegas and we had so much fun. And that was for our first anniversary. So
Are y'all like best friends? Like, what's y'all fun? Y'all got any inside joke that's like something?
um I can't think of any, but I know it's plenty like inside jokes.
But what make y'all look at each other and laugh or look at each other and be like, did you feel that?
My naughty mind. His naughty mind. That's the only thing I could think of at this time. Yikes. Um,
Food. You
mm.
said that's what you like to do? What do you like to do for
Well,
fun?
I love to eat. I love to travel. I love to go anywhere fun with the kids, especially because I'm a big old kid too. Like, I'm that mom that's gonna run and play kickball with you and act like a big old kid with you too. I play fight my son and everything. Like, yeah, so I just like to have fun with my family. Like, if I could do nothing but just that in life, I would just like to have fun with my family.
Wow.
Mhm.
And do you cook? Who
I do.
cooks in the house? You do?
We both cook. My husband is a great cook. You just gonna be mad when he done cooking about that kitchen, but but we both cook. Now he's more busy, so I do cook more, but we both cook. And if we're both tired, we'll just go get something good to eat. One thing we're gonna do, we're gonna eat. We're gonna eat good too. Yes.
During the 7 years, have you had any bumpy road, like, and then you recovered?
hmm So, our first 3 years was like if you people say nobody's marriage is perfect. I like, why is this? Like, you couldn't tell me it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
But when I got pregnant with my son, things did shift. It was just not a much. And he was also um very occupied with my son and his sports, and that like took over, and it was the distance. And so that had happened for a while, and I'm like, all right, I'm bored. I'm still here. And that's something that, it turned around for the most part. And so I think that every marriage has its ups and downs. It's just what are you willing to accept and not accept? And for me, long as there is no cheating, you're not beating on me, you're not disrespecting me, we could work through it for the most part. You know, um, and so
We're more emotional when we pregnant too. We need more, right?
yes. So, yes. But I was used to us always spending time. It was like we always wanted to be in each other's skin. So now when I need you the most, you act like you're just so busy. It's work or it's football. And so it happened over some time.
Mhm.
And then that took me to a place where I didn't like him like that no more. Like, I loved him, but I didn't like him. It made me a little mean. And so that came about. But at the end of the day, he does me like my mama, rub my back at night, love on me. He still gives me like that nurturing feeling. I never dealt with any women, any disrespect, even when he's upset. He doesn't talk to me in certain type of manner. So, I love my husband,
Yeah. Can you touch on that for just for other women who are probably married? When you said I didn't like him and I was a little mean.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think sometimes the other person may only see that she's being mean,
Mhm.
but he may not realize she just don't like you right now because she don't like how she is feeling or whatever as a married. Like, touch on that part of not liking. I love, but I don't like, and how you felt that when you said I was a little mean, and you're not mean.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, if you're constantly telling somebody like, I want to go out like we used to, and you're communicating it with them, and then they're still not like getting it. After a time, it make you feel neglect, and that neglect made me feel like, I don't know, it just made me mean. It just made me mean. It just made me mean, and I can't even really explain it, but still to this day, I'm still trying not to be mean sometimes because, he is better. We do date, we do all those things, but
Y'all got back on track. How did it shift back? When you knew that it was back, like, it was like, "Okay, now." What
because it's like you said it like
he worked on it.
yeah, he worked on it, and then if it slacks up, I say something about it, or sometimes even he'll, think of it. So it's really not like how it was, as far as, you're just totally acting like, what we used to do wasn't a thing. But
It's more
when
moving parts though, right? Now we got a more another
right, baby. But
thing.
that's even more why you should have adult time, husband and wife time, because you get so caught up in work and just everything that the world throws at you that sometimes you just want to go step out with your husband or your friends or whatever, but you need adult time. Everything can't be kids, 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 kids all the time. And so that's all I really wanted. Like we could go step out just for a little while, just you and I, that's what I like, outside of the kids, because I always want to spend time with them, but I need adult time. So
It sounds like you have to be intentional though, because if you got all of those moving parts, you got bigger kids, you got little kid, businesses, work, y'all gotta live
you gotta
be
shut it down.
intentional. Jeez.
In the evening, nighttime, at some point, you gotta shut it down. My other kids are older, so they babysit baby J if we wanna go somewhere, so it's not like we have to find a babysitter, else we'll really be out of out of luck, so, you gotta wanna do it and make time to do it.
Keep dating is what I hear you saying. It's like we can get married, but we have to keep dating because we like to be dated. We like to be
Yeah.
cute, feel beautiful.
Yeah. Yep, I like to, do all of that, and even if it's somewhere simple, you're making the effort to let me know that you want us to go spend time together alone,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's big. That's big to me.
I think to women,
Mhm.
we gotta feel that. Unless we masculine, I mean, we ever wanted, she wants to feel special.
Mhm.
And I was just in the car with somebody the other day. She's married. I don't want to mention her name, but she's married, and they was talking about date night, and they've been married for over 30 years.
You gotta continue to date because that's what made you guys have them butterflies and, get together.
Yeah.
We can't be living this lifestyle and then now it's nothing because then all of those sparks and all that excitement just dies out. You gotta put some things first.
That's good. Um, your father, we haven't talked about him from when you was little.
Don't know,
No?
have no clue who he is. Um, I heard mention of who he may be, but he's passed away anyway, so that's neither here nor there. Yeah.
Really? And how did that affect you at all in life? Like to where you felt it? You thought about it? Of course, I'm sure.
I thought about it. I never really cared. Really. I just really wanted to know who my mother was and who my siblings were. And then once I knew who they were, I wanted to know who he was just to know where I come from.
Right.
But as far as like caring about a relationship, no. And I do feel like it affects men and women because there's different things that you lack growing up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you result to other things because you lack that kind of love. And so I do feel like it did play a role in my life to some extent, but as far as me caring to have a relationship or anything like that, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I was after some time. But I was looking for that joker to come back. You gotta hit the aim. Yeah, I did. So that's the difference, huh? Yeah.
I never missed what I didn't have. All I knew is I did want a dad growing up. I wanted to call someone dad. I wanted a dad, but I can't really remember me ever in life being emotional because I didn't have a dad. My sister, well, she could have been she was my mom's age, my biological mom's age.
Okay.
So her boyfriends sometime played somewhat of a role. Like, she had a boyfriend named David,
Mhm.
and still to this day, I go and see about him, but he kinda played kinda like a fatherly role. He would talk to me and help me through certain things in life, so
Yeah.
he was more like a fatherly figure, you know, but maybe that's why I feel like I didn't lack much in that area, but he played a role in my life.
What did you wanna be growing up as a kid, and, did you become that? Did you pursue
No,
that? Did
not
you
at
feel
all.
like you should not have, like
Well, I used to say I was gonna be a doctor. I just knew I was gonna be a surgeon. I was gonna be a doctor, doctor, doctor. Then I said I wanted to be a nurse. I took so many classes through it. I took all the classes up until microbiology, through nursing, and then I was like, I don't even wanna work in the medical field at all
really?
anymore. Yeah, so I let that go.
You took all those classes, and at what point did you know? What was it? What class was you in and you was like, "You know what? No,
I
we're
don't
not
know.
doing this."
I really do not know, but I remember taking the last classes and just everything about hospitals, medical, all that. I was just like, I don't wanna do that anymore. I just didn't wanna do it. Just Well, yeah, I still to this day don't wanna do it. I don't nothing about it.
What's your goal? What if you know your goal, then you can build strategy.
Mhm,
If you don't know the goal, if the goal is to, let's say, if I wanted to have an event center or whatever, I want to get a big heap of fruit warehouse. If that was the goal, then now after I have the goal, I gotta have strategy.
mhm,
How I'm gonna get there. You see what I'm saying? And now I got something to do with myself.
right.
A lot of times we might do one and not do the other. We're doing the strategy, but we don't even know where we going. Where are we
Mhm,
going? You haven't even set a place. So is it when it comes to that, I think, is it about the wholeness of the family? And
mhm,
we got to do whatever we have to do within each child moment, but we're keeping the family together. The parts are moving a little bit different than they was last season. Some people are going to work, now that wasn't, like things are, other people got problems too. We real clingy. We crybabies and clingy. And it take everything to heart. Like
yeah,
somebody says, like,
yeah,
just,
that's me.
right, Bo? But the whole world, I'm just learning this. I wish I would have got it years ago. It doesn't revolve around me.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my gosh. I promise you. This is like a revelation. Like the whole world. You think the whole world revolve around, like, I'm just getting this. I know it don't, but
Yeah, we know we don't, but sometimes we think more of ourselves than maybe we should, that we ought of, because like lives, I still to this day would not do a live, but I was watching something and they were like, people don't care about you the way you think.
like they was like really your live and they stopped and they're like, hmm, her braids.
I'm like, I don't like my voice on there. I don't like how I look right now. So I would not do a live.
I think we could get free, a lot more free if we know that everything is not about us. Every moment of our kids' mindset ain't thinking about us. They got other relations. Your kids got friends at school, and so one that they mad with, and this girl said something about her, and her coming in the house seeming like she had an attitude that ain't got nothing to do with your whole world. And I think we make every person, all the moving parts about us.
That was actually a learning lesson for me recently.
Wasn't
Because my oldest, I didn't know that her and a friend was going through whatever they were going through. And I'm like on her, like, you always got an attitude. You always walk around here like an attitude too. Like, I try to give y'all the best life that I possibly can.
you went well that bad? Wait, hold on, Denali. Wait, it went from
I did.
you always have an attitude too.
Yes. Because, like, what is you so mad for, girl? Like, you ain't got to do nothing but go to work. I mean, go to school, come home, make sure you clean up, and that's all you got to do. What did you so mad for?
And it was
You know what I
built up. All of that was built up inside of you too.
Yeah, because it was constant. It was like
Mhm.
always like I get that you're being you're a teenager now and all that, but What is the attitude for?
She a teenager. And they're going through so much.
They are. But mommy is too, and that's the last thing I need is for you to have an attitude with me and I ain't did nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, we all deal with things. You don't want me to take things out on you. Don't take it out on me.
Yes.
But I looked in her phone because I randomly looked through their phones and I seen she was going through some things. So she was upset
Yeah.
about something she had going on with the friend too. So, and we both communicated about it. Like, you know, I got things going on. I know you got things going on, but there's no reason for us to treat each other because I get irritated. And soon as she got an attitude, I got an attitude too. Cause you know, you walk around here with an attitude, you know.
But that's the thing is not being reactive. Like to not react.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like right now, I don't know what this is on my arm, but I'm having a reaction to something. It's reacting to something. I don't know what it is, right? Which means when, like, one thing that a friend of mine used to say, he said when the doctor, he gives the patient medication, or let's say through the IV, he gives them some type of medication through the IV and he's not taking it well, the doctor will say that he's having what? A reaction, right? You might get hives. He might he might start sweating. Have whatever it is, he's reacting to what was given to him. But if the doctor gives the patient medication through the IV and he's taking it well, he'll say, and he's responding, right? That means that what has been given to him, he's taking it well,
Right.
and so things are going to be given to us in life. But we can either react when somebody do something, then we do something, or we can respond. And so we react. I think I react out of when I'm immature, but as I mature and I get outside of myself, then I'm able to respond. And in the Bible, because we both saved in the book of Acts, when they received the gospel, when Paul them went out and preached the gospel, it says, and they responded to the gospel. They received it well. What Paul was preaching, they was able to, you get what I'm saying? And so I think when what we've been through, and we so in ourselves, not because we selfish, but it becomes selfish. The more older you get, it becomes more selfish because it's like everybody has to revolve around us, right? Then we make everything about us, and that don't be fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we can nurture in the sense of giving and doing all these things, but when it comes to what the person actually needs is a whole nother thing. How you were talking about with, in marriage, like this is what I need right now, You don't give me all these other things. I was talking to one of my homeboys, like, don't bring bananas and
Cause he'll send money. I don't care about the money.
it's something.
I want us to spend time like we always have.
So then that's what I mean, not to even go into that, but with the kids, with our teens and stuff like that, they have needs, right? And so when we react, then we're on their level, but when we respond, then we take it well. She having a bad day. And we don't make it like, oh, you got it, I got one, rather than somebody can rub us the wrong way. And it don't mean they trying to say you a mean person, because now I'm good to you. I do everything that you just with you.
See, just to get it.
You thought we make every season. Now the baby, she can't even have her chance to, be upset, be mad, have an attitude. You know what I mean? I'm still growing through this. Just know I'm not.
It was literally a lesson that I just learned through her. Literally, this was not even 2 weeks ago. Literally, because we had a talk and, she feels like sometimes I have an attitude with her for no reason. So we communicated and really things have been so much peaceful since then because now we understand that because she's still growing. She's a little girl, and so, and may not have been in the blessed place mentally either, mature enough to even deal with that. So now when we communicate and say, this or that is going on, this and that is going on, we can't act like that with each other, whatever, it's been better,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
'Cause I
Absolutely.
kinda do think my household revolve around me.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to get I this new stuff for me, so I'm trying to, but I don't have a bunch of people around me like you have a whole family, but so it really it's just me and God, and He's just showing me through as I'm out in life and how I'm making a lot of stuff, about me. Some stuff, yeah, you be right. You discerning properly, you are.
Right.
And then some stuff is like, girl, how you just put yourself in the center of that? It's like you come and pull in the middle of 6 lanes of traffic on the interstate and park yourself, right?
You said, "I know you ain't do that. I know you." Yes, I did. Yeah, I said, "'Cause what is you so mad over?" Like,
You made her whole situation about she already going through with her friends or whoever these people are. And we can go out there if you want to.
Right.
But no, I don't know. I should have been on the playground, I think, more with the rest of the kids
Mhm.
so that I get pushed around a little more. I think I was more on the side. I did play, but I think I needed to be around so that I knew that everything wasn't about me because the more you interact with other people, you become a part of the whole and rather than being secluded and then everything is about you.
I think maybe my upbringing probably got something to do with it now that we think about it,
Yeah.
because it was always me and my mom, and everything did evolve around me.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense that I'm like,
Do you think it's going through you like
well, I definitely don't expect the outside
yeah,
at all to make me feel that like
but
that,
yeah.
because I think it's a cold world out here if you ask me. But, with my husband and kids, yeah, it's cause when I was a little girl, I used to go in there, rub my mama feet, rub her back, just go talk to her, lay across her bed,
Right.
stuff like that. And then, so I want my kids to come treat me like that. I ask them to rub my feet, they like, like, "Don't be doing me like that," 'cause they used to do it. Now they getting older, they act all funky and think about
Things changing. Things change. The dynamics change. We gotta shift. When we don't shift, we're gonna get left behind and we're gonna be one of those people stuck and like saying, remember when they created I learned, this is a ministry for me when people sit and they talk or whatever. It's never to exploit and get, oh, I got the juiciest interview this time. I guess no, you get what I'm saying? Because if I'm about family and marriage, I applaud that. I'm praying for that and kids being in healthy dynamics and stuff like that. So I'm never gonna exploit that. Or if I do, God is gonna definitely deal with me.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm so much like he's sensitive and all of that. I'm like, when I came to your shop, I'm just like, wow, I never met somebody more since she's so sweet. Like, I'm like the crybaby. I'm the one who usually cry. And but I'm working through that. I don't despise my tears. Your tears, you a crybaby too? Or
Kinda.
used to be or
I don't I'm I don't cry a lot, really. I don't cry a lot, but, I don't know if I think it's something heightened with me in the last few weeks too as well, because different things you go to talk about my mom, Imma cry anyway.
yeah.
Certain things, but I think what I'm going through mentally and spiritually, I'm more easier right now to tear up. I really am.
Probably a fragile place. I think you cry more when it's like a fragile place. Um, you don't really understand the place.
Mhm, mhm. 'Cause it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. Cause I've always been, very motivated ever since I was a little girl. I was gonna get me some money one way or the other. Imma clean your house, Imma babysit your kids, Imma find me something to do, cause like I said, my mom was on a fixed income. She did what she could, but when school time comes, she say, "You gonna get these 5 outfits and these 1 or 2 pair of shoes and call it a day," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. I need some more clothes and shoes. I want my nails done. I want this, I want that." So I always will find me some money. I always would do something. I was always motivated. If I had an idea, I would do everything that I can to make that idea happen.
Mhm.
And then in the last week or two, at 34 years old, I felt defeated. defeated like no other time in my life. Like, you're not where you really want to be. A lot of different things was going through my mind. So
Well, I
I
have a
need that
question for you. Do you know anybody in your life that is where they want to be? Just one person that's where that they said, "Girl, I am where I want to be." Do you know? Would you anybody?
I think that a lot of people do say that. You don't know if it's really true or not,
Right.
but I do see people, that say that. But for me, as long as my family is healthy
Yeah.
and we're alive, like I got the foundation, everything else in this world could just go down. And as long as I got that, I'm good.
Yeah.
But when you have them, okay, now I want this house that I want. I want this car that I want. I want my bank account and my investments to look like I want it to look,
Right.
So I want those different things for myself. And I feel like I'm not even halfway there.
And think of it. And when I think of it, it just came to me. If I say I'm not where I want to be, and I want a 4-bedroom house, it might cost me 450,000 for it. Am I where I want to be financially for what I say I want? Do you understand? Slow down and listen to it.
That's what I say it one more
Am
time.
I where I want to be financially, not where I want to be physically? Like physically, I want to be in that 4-bedroom house, right? But am I where I want to be financially to be in that $450,000 house? Because I'm gonna have the mortgage, with the insurance, and you gotta do all, now you responsible for taking care of all of anything break down. That's right. You know what I'm trying to say? And since God does everything in you know what I mean? Sometimes we can be in the most blessed place and we don't know it until like 8 months from now. You ever this gonna give you a picture. You ever you'll look at yourself, you be like, oh, I'm fat. 10 months. You look back at the picture of where you was. You was like, wait, you understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing about satisfaction and being satisfied. It doesn't mean that you are not ambitious about the future and or none of that, but it's like to look around to be for me, this is what I'm learning for me, because is to be thankful for where I'm at. I have to be mindful because I am thankful. I do thank God, but I'm talking about on even a more deeper level, like just being thankful for where I am, because I don't know how good I really have it. I don't think we really will know how good we really have it. Sometimes hindsight, when we look back at it, we're like, whoa, we was doing really good, babe. Like if we could just get back to that.
I always wanted to do better. Like always, I think that everybody should always want to do better, but I am very thankful. I know a couple months ago, we moved, and it was a better looking place than we were in before. And it was already a breath of fresh air or whatever. I was happy about that. But then when the hurricanes came, the place that I used to live in is gone. Like basically they had to gut all the walls out and everything. And
Where you moved from, you mean, right? Okay.
and I had to step out on faith because it was like $1,000 more,
Really?
a month.
Yeah.
And so my husband, like, we can do this. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And then we did it. But I'm like, well, God, if we didn't do this, we would have been trying to find where to live. Yeah. I'm so grateful. I was just so grateful. Like, that's when my gratefulness, like, it all, like, came back because it was like, I know families personally that were displaced and they lost everything. And I'm like, Lord, thank God that did not happen to us, And so, and I know God got them. It's a family specific that I'm thinking of, and I know she's a believer in Christ, and I know she does right. She does right by her kids, and I know that she's blessed and gonna be more blessed. But I'm just like, Lord, thank God I did not have to endure that because I can already imagine what she's going through. She has just as many as kids as we do.
A lot of people suffering from, that the hurricane, was it? The yeah thing? Yeah.
Yep. And then just after that it was just different things that happen, my kids, my husband, everything. I'm just grateful. Like everything may not be what you want it to be, but you need to look at the things because some people have, sick kids, or maybe they lost their kid, or maybe their husband is beating on them. Maybe he's out cheating on her. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that I'm not going through that I'm grateful for. I'm so grateful. You thankful? I'm grateful.
Yes, me too. And when you're a giver, because you're a giver,
Hmm.
and like you need that nurturing. Like I was the baby child, so
Hmm.
I got that.
Yeah.
Um, that I'm learning that the thing that I think that people need to do for me is I need to get out of myself and do that for people. I gotta start serving. I gotta start serving like a waiter
Me
on a different level. Like it doesn't make me any less than to get outside of myself if somebody gets upset, rather than me get upset like, oh, God showed me her. You get what I'm saying? Maturity is like, girl, what is you upset about? I see you. I know you upset. Get it. You know what I mean? Like that. I need more of that. I'm not even gonna lie, because as soon as you, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like, never seeing me again. You know what I mean? That quiet. Like, yeah, you can.
That's me all day.
That's
I've been like in my head, like,
right. It is. I'm thinking about it literally just while you're talking. And that's why I feel like God is in this place, just listening to you. So I'm not even just talking to you, like it's dealing with me, because that is my personality, a lot of that.
mm-hmm.
And so you got to get outside of yourself to help other people. They can get an attitude. They can roll their eyes. Every person at the drive-through who, they're going through something. They did not know you were going to pull up. And just because they didn't serve you in a way with a smile and the way that didn't mean that, so.
You know what? It's funny that you use the word serve because I have been praying to God, like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Like whatever I do for my career or whatever I do to make money, I want it to be serving.
Yeah.
I want to love and enjoy doing it, and I want to serve. Just because everything isn't about us, and I do know that. I do know that. But, I guess between me and you and I talking, it just gave me a lesson, like, with how I said, I think my whole house supposed to evolve around mommy, and I do feel like that, but that's something Imma work on.
Yeah.
I'm on there. But as far as the outside, I do wanna do something that's, fulfilling to help my community, and I haven't found what that is yet,
Yeah.
but I do want to.
Nice.
Because God put us here to serve others. So you just gotta find out what your purpose, what is it that He wants you to do? Because that's what I want to do. Because the joy and happiness and money will come behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is walking in my purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna finance that thing, because that's what he put me here for. So
Right. Yeah.
that's good. So 3 minutes.
Okay.
What would you say to single moms or married women, anybody, or men who's in your husband position? He's a husband. Like, how would you encourage these people, like different people, just about life in this time right now in 3 minutes?
I would say stay encouraged in spite of what it looks like. Stay prayed up if you don't have a relationship with God. Get one. Because on your baddest days that can uplift you, His Holy Spirit will uplift you. Also, don't worry about what other people have or the facades that they put on social media, because everything that you see is not always true. Just be yourself, do what you can, and do right by other people, and good will come to you.
Nice. If God was here and you could tell him, which he is here, and if God was here and you can tell him one thing that wasn't a question, what would you say?
If I can tell him one thing that was not a question,
Yeah.
it's not a question. I wanna please you. I just wanna please you. That's it.
What does that mean to you?
I wanna be the person who he called me to be. I wanna be obedient, you know, when I'm doing something or thinking to do something that I don't need to be doing, I wanna be disciplined enough to not do it so that it pleases him, you know, and I just wanna make it there. If something happened to me, I need to be there. You I need to be there. I wanna see you there. I wanna see you. Yep, Tasha Cobbs. I wanna see you. I need to be there. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad you came. I know you have a busy schedule, but I appreciate you coming and hopefully I can have you on again. Where can they find you? Like, what's your social media handles? Like, what's the different places they can find you and the names that they can find you in?
So currently, on Instagram, it is Shootastic FL. Um, there is gonna be a new Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all that for the mini studio. But as of now, I have Shootastic, and on Facebook, it's a Diane Frazier, and the Shootastic FL on for the business page as well.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming. And I
Thank
hope you have an amazing week.
Thank you.
And you look so cute. Stand up. Let them see your outfit right there where she is cute. Step back a little bit. Let them see how cute. That outfit is so cute, honey. Yes, that is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh, look, I'm sweating so bad, Clarice.
Why is you sweating?
Still sweating. You would have thought I was in front of people. The way how nervous I am.